Well, someone described LSU as an athletic nightmare. How accurate of a statement is that?
I'd say that's true. I think they're the most athletic team we've played and the biggest team we've played. But I'm not as worried about the size inside as I am the size and athleticism on the wings, because that's where we're a little bit depleted right now. So that's going to be a factor. I think there's no secrets that the turnovers and the rebounding, offensive rebounding. I mean, I said they do it with vengeance. They do it with, it's almost violent. That's how hard they go there. And it reminds me of some of the teams we had with Jay Rich and Zach and those guys back in the early 2000s. I mean, we've been a good rebounding team this year, maybe the best in the league, but I wouldn't say a tremendous rebounding team. And I think we're going to have to be to win this battle.
How have your guys been able to defend this year with being so thin without fouling?
I think my staff deserves some credit for that, and I say that because I think we've game planned more than normal to try to make up for some of the weaknesses we've had, and I think the guys have just done a good job of understanding that we're a little thin, and we can't make foolish fouls. I wish they'd see that same thing about foolish turnovers, so we've done it in one end, and we got to do it in both. Although the last 10 games, we've averaged about 12 2 turnovers a game, and that includes the 22. So we were making some progress. It's just that last week, 6 charges, I think, doesn't help. But we have done a good job defending. When you look at our stats, I mean, we're the best in the league by more than a little bit. And I really am proud of that under the circumstances.
Tom, how about the point guard matchup? It looks like on paper this is 2 great players going at each other.
Yeah, Waters is a hell of a player, and he's got quickness. He's got a great ability to pass. He's a water bug. He's jet quick, and so it's different styles, but similar that they both can score and they both can pass. Waters takes a lot of chances on defense, and he's kind of like a rover in football. He's all over the place. I think we're going to have to be aware of that. Cassius isn't the same kind of defender, but Cassius has been shooting the ball with extreme confidence, and I think it'll be something to watch.
Tom, you said you wanted to get Cassius refreshed this week, remember? Is he ready for the test?
I really think he is. This was a good week for us. We took Sunday off. We had a moderate practice Monday. We went at it pretty good Tuesday and decent on Wednesday, and today will be a wind down day to get ready for tomorrow. So I think from a health standpoint, from a rest standpoint, compared to the 5 games in 8 days, we're going to be as fresh as we've been for the last 2 months.
What have you seen from Cassius since you gained him a cap?
Cassius has done a better job in so many areas, but I just keep telling him we got to get to another level, because I know what he can give, and I know what he has given, and he's given me everything he can. And the can give on the captain thing is, can you drag some more people along with you? And I think he's trying to do that along with every other job I've given him, which probably isn't always fair, but it's worked out pretty good for him and pretty good for us. So ain't broke, we're not going to fix it. We're just going to keep pushing forward.
Tom, what was your point defensively with Aaron when you felt like you could kind of trust him on that key defense?
It's been a couple of weeks, but it really got exemplified to the nth degree. We played Michigan, and we put him on Iggy the second half, and he did a pretty good job on him. And he's just got the athletic ability, he's got the strength, and he's got decent size. So we said all along that he was very well coached in high school. Once he learned how to push himself, we thought he could really develop into that. It's one thing Gary Harris always told me he thought he could do, and sure enough, he's done it. He's done it at a very high level, especially for a freshman.
How big of a test defensively is this going to be for Xavier Tillman?
Well, I think it's going to be a big test for Xavier. I mean, Reed is a heck of a player, and we're going to be rotating different guys on him. But I think we're going to finally have a solid rotation. I think in with Kenny, and of course Nick now is, I'd say, more back. He's actually, they removed the pad from his palm, and they've just got the back, so that's made a big difference. I mean, Nick wanted to come back and be everything all at once, and usually it takes at least whatever time you're off, a month you're off, it takes at least half that time to get back, which we're right into that area. And I think Nick made big progress this week. And getting that thing on Tuesday, I think they removed it, has really made a big difference and helped him. But I thought the Minnesota game, he got some confidence. He's getting his win back. This week of practice helped. And so it'll be a three-man rotation, but Xavier's going to have his hands full with Reed because he can shoot the three, he can take it to the hole, he can dunk on you, he can jump over you and get an offensive rebound. If I keep talking about it, I'm going to get nauseous and I won't be able to practice.
Tom, how about the mental side of this thing? You win that first weekend, you feel good, then you got to throttle it all right back up.
Yeah, you know, one thing good about this team is we've done that all year. You know, in our league being so good, we played 24 conference games this year, which is almost ridiculous. And, you know, when we're playing teams at the end, you know, like a Michigan or Purdue or Wisconsin that are, you know, highly ranked good teams, it was never a time when we can win a game and feel good. We had to get right back up. We played Michigan 3 times in a little over a 2-week period. So I do think we've had to deal with it. We've actually had the longest period of time off for this one, but it is one of our biggest challenges because their strength, the turnovers, is creating them is one. The offensive rebounding is not our weakness, but it's going to challenge our depth, especially on the perimeter.
Tom, can you just elaborate on the idea of winning the weekend and how that goes against maybe what you've taught for so many years as game by game in this tournament?
You know, really, in the tournament, I have, you know, I always think it's game by game, but once we won the thing, I haven't changed my philosophy on the weekend a lot. You just don't talk about it a lot because people think you're looking past somebody. It's what you have to do as a coach. It's you take Monday, maybe Sunday, maybe Tuesday, and you look at what other teams do. We don't prepare for Duke or Virginia Tech on Monday or Tuesday. We prepare for the things they may do that we haven't run into. A couple of those teams press. Some of them play zone. So we kind of prepare for everybody on those days. Then, you know, Wednesday, Thursday really home in on the task at hand. So it's been part of our culture, so nobody's looking past anything. I think it's a positive, you know. That's the goal. The goal is if you don't win the weekend, you don't advance. Now, if you don't win the game, you don't advance, but with the quick turnaround, I think that's what's helped us over the years is we have looked at them. And like I say, don't take that the wrong way. We're not sitting there and breaking down every player and doing it that way. We're doing a job where we just look at the overall things that they may do and try to make sure we've covered those so they're not foreign in a one-day prep.
McQuaid and Kenny are both guys that wanted to get some rest, but I would imagine right now at this point of the year they will push it to the hill.
Yeah, McQuaid doesn't even faze me, you know. Kenny a little bit more because he's not the same kind of just body type and everything. McQuaid will play till he's dead. I'm not worried about McQuaid. And Kenny, you know, the one advantage to TV in these situations is you do get more timeouts or you get longer timeouts. And a great conditioned guy isn't that he won't get tired, it's that he recovers faster. With the long TV timeouts, we get a chance to recover faster.
What has Josh Langford, Matt, even though he hasn't been able to play, what has he been able to do?
You know what? Those two guys, him and Kyle Ahrens, but Josh, because it's been such a long period of time, he is our captain. And you know what? He's acted like a captain. A captain never looks at just himself. He looks at his teammates. And Josh, I can't imagine how frustrating it must be. I mean, I told you, he's one of the few players on my team. Everybody loves the game on this team, but only a few live it. He was one of the guys that live it. And to take that away from him is taking part of his life away. And the way he's handled it and tried to maintain not only a leader, helping Nick through his tough time when he was injured, helping other guys, helping Kyle. Josh Langford, you know, was maybe our best player or one of, and he is definitely our best leader. And so losing him was a lot, but he's at least taken on some of those responsibilities and hasn't let him go, even when he's limping around on a bike at first. Now he actually can walk around in a boot. He's out there shooting free throws. I might put him in if we get a technical to shoot a free throw because he makes them all.
You guys have dealt with LSU coaching staff comparing Cassius to Kemba Walker. They said that's the comparison they've gone with. Obviously, I know you know Kimber well, you remember him here.
Yeah.
When you look at what type of point guard battle this can be, you know, does this remind you of some of those old classics in NCAA?
Yeah, it does. You know, I think Waters is really good. I think Cassius is really good. I think Cassius does have maybe not quite the quickness of Kimba, but that stop and go hesitation, can shoot it from deep, can get to the rack. So that's probably a pretty good comparison. I hope someday he turns out just like him, because that kid's having a heck of a career in the NBA. But, you know, Waters too. I mean, two smaller guys that are getting a lot done, and that's I hope he lives up to that comparison.
Tom, Cassius is so even-keeled, it seems to us. But in a matchup like this, does he?
Oh, I think he's
never
more of a
see it.
quiet assassin. Yeah, I don't either.
Right.
You know, sometimes that frustrates me, as you know, because, you know, you want to see passion in a guy, but he has his own style. It's taken me a while to learn that style too. But do I think that he's excited about this? 100%. You know, do I think he's looking forward to it? 100%. Do I think he's ready for the challenge? 100%. You know, and he just has a different way of showing us all, and yet on my team that might be good because I show the emotion the other way. So I think he keeps a complete balance between the coach and the players, and that's what makes him so special.
I was going to ask you how he's different maybe than some of the other guys that have led you deep into the tournament.
Yeah, he is different. You know, he's probably better in some ways because he can score it and he can pass it. You know, I've had some guys that could defend. I've had some guys that could score. I've had some guys that could just pass. But I haven't had many that can do just about all of them. And he can do that with a pretty even keel approach. And yet, when I sit there in a huddle and say, okay, you know, it's your time, you know, please. And he answers the bell, you know, and he's done it on numerous occasions now. And so I might ask him a little earlier this week.
What about you, Tom? Are you walking with a little more March swagger this week?
No, you know, no more swagger. I mean, listen, I'm happy we're back in the Sweet 16, but I understand why we weren't. I mean, I really do. I mean, there were extenuating circumstances in a couple of years, and there's been better teams and better programs than Michigan State that has missed one here and missed one there. And but I feel good because this team has probably surpassed where I thought we'd be under the circumstances, if I was to be honest with you. And that's always a good feeling because that means you're really connected. And they are really connected, and that's pretty cool.
Well, you see what adversity can do to a team with the Spartans. LSU kind of dealing with the same effects. How some teams crumble under it. What is it about maybe the Tigers and the Spartans that makes adversity they're facing, makes them so dangerous?
Well, I think you rally behind certain things, whether it's their coach that they're rallying behind or their situation or our injuries and, you know, what we've been through. But, you know, it's kind of early yet, too. I mean, you know, the real teams now, this is where it really starts. This is where it gets more intense. This is where there's more pressure. So we'll see how we all handle that. But I just like the approach we've taken, the way they practice, what they've given me. As a coach, you couldn't ask more of a team than what they've done. Now, saying that, there's still more games to play, and you know, we're going to have to do some things that we haven't done great to win this game, and that was our approach all week.
Another one about Cash.
Last one, guys.